Hey guys, this is Entity Hunter here, and today we'll be going over the stories and the sightings of the Shadow Wolf. Big question yet. Is he real, or is he a fragment of our imagination? Today we'll be going over the stories and the sightings of the Shadow Wolf. The Shadow Wolf, also known as the Dread Wolf, is an 8-foot tall creature of unknown origin. The stories about this creature is quite disturbing, and it is rumored that it existed for thousands of years, possibly being the last of its kind. Despite its long history, and little is known about the Shadow Wolf, except it possesses seemingly impossible abilities. It is often found in forests and abandoned areas. The first recording sighting of the Shadow Wolf dates back to 1578, and the sightings have become more frequent over the years. In 2012, a man walking home from work when he saw the creature moving in the shadows, which is how it got the name Shadow Wolf. The creature appeared to be stalking the man, as if preparing to attack. However, the story abruptly ends, as the government allegedly forced the man to remain silent about his encounter. Why is the government so eager to keep this creature a secret and silence every single witness who had seen this creature? Well, the answer about that will remain silent, as we do not actually know the information about it. But all we know is that this creature's sightings have been more frequent over the years, making it harder for the government to actually hide him, as he's been sighted in many places, such as New York, Oklahoma, California, Alabama, and so many others. We also found a clip from the S&P Foundation about this creature in their attempts to contain it. But so far we found no proof that it was actually contained, as we keep seeing sightings of this creature even after the date shown in the audio recording. The audio recording also freezes and actually ends before we could actually hear if they had a successful freaking containment or an unsuccessful containment. But we're actually about to show you the clip, and yeah, I hope you guys like this clip.
Date, July 17th, 2024. Location, dense forest near an abandoned village. Initial discovery. Reports of strange sightings and unexplained events in the area have reached the SCP Foundation. Witnesses describe a large, shadowy creature lurking in the forest, matching the description of a shadow wolf. The Foundation decides to investigate and contain the entity. Deployment. Mobile Task Force, MTF, Epsilon 6, Village Idiots, is dispatched to the location. This MTF specializes in rural and isolated area operations, making them ideal for this mission. Preparation. The team sets up a temporary base of operations at the edge of the forest. They deploy motion sensors, infrared cameras, and drones to monitor the area. The MTF is equipped with tranquilizer rifles, containment nets, and other non-lethal capture tools. Encounter. As night falls, the shadow wolf is spotted moving through the trees. The creature's presence is confirmed by multiple sensors and visual sightings. The MTF moves in, attempting to surround and isolate the entity. Capture attempt. The team uses a combination of tranquilizer darts and containment nets to subdue the shadow wolf. However, the creature's agility and strength make it a formidable opponent. It evades several capture attempts, displaying its ability to blend into the shadows and move silently.
So that's the only clip from the S&P Foundation. Unfortunately, there wasn't really much information on any successful attempt of any containment. So, yeah, so all we can actually guess is, did they or did they not? Well, sadly, they didn't, because so far we've been still having sightings of the Shadow Wolf. And lore-wise, this is kind of like a little bit of a no-brainer. But there's actually another story after these events on on August 9th, 2024. And I'm actually gonna go and show you that clip right now. But yeah. So further ado, here's the clip.
I've always been a night owl, finding solace in the quiet hours when the world sleeps. My cabin in the woods was my sanctuary, a place where I could work on my projects, undisturbed. One night, while reviewing some footage from my newly installed cameras, I noticed something strange. At first, it was just a flicker on the screen, a shadow that seemed out of place. I rewound the footage and played it again. There it was, a dark, hulking figure moving between the trees at the edge of my property. My heart pounded as I zoomed in, trying to get a closer view. The figure was tall, impossibly tall, with eyes that seemed to peer through the darkness. Curiosity got the best of me, of course, and I grabbed my flashlight and cautiously stepped outside. The night was early. It was an early silence. The only sound with being the crunch of leaves under my boots. I reached the spot where I had seen the creature. But there was nothing. There was just a whispering wind and a rustle of leaves. As I turned my head, I heard a low growl. My flashlight flickered, and for a brief moment of darkness, I saw it. The Shadow Wolf. It stood at the edge of the clearing, its eyes glowing with an unnatural light. I froze, my breath caught in my throat. The creature's presence was overwhelming. A palpable sense of dread that seemed to seep into my very bones. The Shadow Wolf moved closer, of course, its massive form blending with the shadows. I stumbled back, my flashlight falling to the ground in the dim light. I could see the creature's teeth, sharp and glancing. It let out a bone-crackling howl, and I knew I had to run. I sprinted back to my cabin, slamming the door shut behind me. My heart raced as I locked every window and door, and I knew it wouldn't be enough. The camera showed the creature circling my cabin, its eyes never leaving me. I spent the rest of the night huddled in the corner, clutching a kitchen knife. The Shadow's howl echoed through the night, a constant reminder of the terror lurking just outside as dawn broke. The howl ceased, and the creature vanished into the forest. But I knew it wasn't over. The Shadow Wolf was out there, watching, waiting, and it would return.
And this creature's actually been around for quite some time now. And it was actually sighted not so long ago in 1963 or 7, something around that, in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I'm actually going to go and read it out for you in just a minute because it's actually quite a good story. It's actually quite an entertaining one, actually. I'm actually going to go and read it right now if I can find it. And, found it. It was the chilly night of November 10th, 1967, in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Four friends, all aged 17 and up, were driving from a party near the TNT area. The group consisted of Mike, Sarah, Tom, and Lisa. They spent the evening celebrating Sarah's birthday and were heading back home. The car was filled with laughter and the remnants of the party music as they drove through the dark, winding roads The conversation turned to a local legend of the area. The TNT area was infamous for strange sightings and eerie occurrences. Mike, the driver, decided to take a detour through the heart of the TNT area, hoping to spook his friends a little. Come on, Mike. Don't be ridiculous, Sarah protested through her voice, betrayed a hint of excitement. Relax, it's just for fun, Mike replied with a grin. The car's headlight cut through the darkness, illuminating on the dense forest on either side. Suddenly, the laughter died down as they noticed something moving in the shadows. A tall, dark figure seemed to be approaching them, keeping pace with the car. Did you see that? Tom whispered, his eyes widened with fear. Yeah, I did, Lisa added, her voice trembling. Mike slowed the car down, trying to get a better look. The figure stepped into the light, revealing itself to be an 8-foot tall creature with glowing white eyes. A menacing presence, it was the Shadow Wolf, a creature of unknown origin, rumored to have been around for thousands of years. The friends were paralyzed with fear as the Shadow Wolf let out a terrifying scream, a sound that seemed to pierce through their souls. Mike tried to start the car, but the engine sputtered and died. The creature moved closer, its eyes locked onto the group. Everyone stay calm, Mike said, through his voice was shaken. We'll get out of this. The Shadow Wolf circled the car, its movements silent and predatory. It seemed to be waiting for something, its eyes never leaving their terrified friends. Just seemed as the creature was about to attack, Mike managed to start the car and they sped away from the TNT area, not daring to look back. So yeah, that's basically a story that I was reading from my Instagram that I actually posted. And yeah, by the way, my Instagram will be posted in the description down below if you want to check it out. I also have a Wikipedia for this creature, which will also be in the description, and also our Discord. So yeah, we actually do have one more story to tell before we actually end off the video. And I'm actually going to be telling you this right now because, I think it would be like a good idea to actually tell the story before anything else. And by the way, we will actually be posting a part 2 for this video. So yeah, try to subscribe and keep an eye out for that because it will be out soon. And yeah. My name is Alma. I am 30 now. But the story I'm about to tell you happened when I was very young and reckless. My friends, Kenneth, John, and I decided to explore an abandoned Holy Family Hospital in Birmingham. It loomed over the town, a hulking ruin that was been closed for years. We packed sandwiches, spray paint, and a camera, looking for a thrill. The hospital's front door was rusted and covered in cobwebs. John, always being the daredevil of the group, decided to crawl in through a broken window and unlock the door from the inside. It didn't make sense, but we followed him in anyways. The hospital was dark and musky, the air thick with decay. We wandered the empty halls, our footsteps echoing off the walls. Every now and then, we would find a room covered in graffiti and take a few pictures. After about 20 minutes of exploring, we found a room that was perfect empty, except for a wall that was begging to be tagged. We got to work, spray paint rattling as we covered the wall in color. It was fun. The kind of mindless fun that you only get when you're a teenager doing something you shouldn't do. We laughed and joked, the fear of getting caught fading away. But then Kennedy saw something. He froze, his eyes fixed across the room. He signaled for us to look. My heart pounding. There was something standing by the door. It was tall, impossibly tall, with skin that looked like it was rotted meat. It was wearing a bow tie of all things, and his face was wrong. John raised his cameras and took a picture. The thing started to growl, and that's when the fear hit. This thing wasn't some prank, wasn't some homeless guy rumbling through the trash. This was something else entirely, and it started to move towards us. Its movements awkward and fast. We ran, not thinking, just moving. We heard Ken's rolling across the floor, Kennedy shouting as he tripped. We tried to help him up, but it was too late. The thing was on him, its long arms wrapping around him. Kennedy screamed, a sound that still haunts me to this day as the creature lifted him up effortlessly, with a grip tightening. I watched in horror as it tore him apart. Blood sprang across the room. His eyes met mine for a brief moment, before the terror and the pain, before the life drained out of them. Me and John just ran. We didn't stop until we were blocks away, gasping for air. We never told anyone what happened that day. John killed himself a year later, unable to cope with what he saw. I went to therapy, tried to deal with it, but some things you just cannot deal with. Some things stay with you, haunting your dreams. What we saw that day, it still haunts me. I see it in my sleep. Feel its eyes on me, even when I'm awake. I'm 30 years old now, but I know I would never be able to escape the Holy Family Hospital. So yeah, that was actually the story, guys. And I'm actually going to be posting a part 2 of this soon on this channel. And yeah, without further ado, I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment down below. Bye, and see you in the next video.